Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Paul, this is Out Nerdy, and today I am going to be reviewing Andor episodes 4, 5 and 6. Right, so we're going to do with... Right, instead of reviewing them episode by episode, because these are in a 3-story arc, that's how I'm going to be reviewing them. So, you know, what is the core of the 3 episodes is this was a, for want of a better word, it's a bank job. They are going to rob the Empire of oil. Alfie cameo. Have I spoke too much? Come on, hello boy. Hello. Right, so hello. Yes. So Alfie cameo. Say hello. Right, so what happens is it's a bank job and Andor is recruited by the chap who saved his life in the 3rd episode to go rob the Empire. And so they go to a planet called Aldani. I don't know if that's pronounced right. But they go to this planet and he gets introduced to the crew and that's it. These episodes are generally broken down into 3 episodes, like I said, where 2 of them is talking and walking in hallways. And the 3rd one is generally action orientated. This works up to a point. They have clearly copied the Clone Wars formula of episodes, and this works. I enjoyed the Clone Wars. The difference is, even if the Clone Wars was 2 episodes of talking and walking and 1 of action, they were broken down into 20 minutes. These episodes are between 45 and 50 minutes in some cases. I would argue, maybe I'm on my own, but I would argue that this is too long. There are some scenes that are just don't need to be in there. Some scenes that work very well, but some that annoy me personally. So let's get into it. What do I like about it? Right, we're getting very, very different perspectives. We're getting the view of the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. We're getting Mon Mothma's attempts to garner a growing rebellion. And we get to see what's going on, with Andor and his surrounding his surrounding crew. Compatriots, that's the word. So, I like seeing the side of the Empire. I even like the bureaucracy of the Empire. What I don't like is how they're setting up blonde female space Nazi to be super duper when actually she is only working to benefit her own position rather than to benefit the Empire. This I do not like. I like the parallels that could perhaps be drawn. I'm not saying that they have done, but could be drawn between the inner workings of the Empire and how it is about personal gain and prestige to a infamous party from the 1930s and 40s in Germany and how their high-level figures, or even low-level figures, tried to jockey amongst themselves a better position of strength and power. So I like that. I like the parallels that it draws, whether it's intended or not. Right? We get, the crew that Andor's with. Obviously, he's just been dropped in amongst them, so they don't trust him. We get to find out they have a spy in the Imperial station they're about to rob, and these do make for good scenes. I do enjoy them. Again, some of them are a bit long-winded. Okay, I'm not going to really tell you the episodes because it is just broken down to talking, walking, and shooting. Eventually, that is it. Like I said, we learn about Mon Mothma and her attempts. Unfortunately for me, and it is just me, and it's only my it's only my opinion. we learn more about her marriage situation to her husband than anything else. This is boring. Now, I understand and accept that she's paranoid and that it seems to be that she's being spied on all fronts, whether it's at work, at home, wherever. Her own driver is supposed to be an Imperial plant. So I understand that. But I don't care about the marriage situation because that's where a lot of it is stemming from at the moment. It's how her husband is pro-Empire, or very pro-Empire, and she is not. Now, in later episodes, I said I'm not covering 7, 8, and 9 yet, but we do get the introduction of another senator, and it's that lots of secret words and nods and winks, and to see who's on each other's side, like. So I would like to see her grow more into just, albeit fighting the Empire in a different arena than one with blasters. We've seen parts of it in Rebels. I enjoyed Rebels quite a lot, and I especially enjoyed them. Like I said, I like seeing how the Empire works and how you can use the law both for your side or against it. So it would be nice to see her use Imperial law to, in some cases, help things, because that's what a lot of what she's doing is, relief efforts and stuff. And I'm skipping forward a bit here, but going off what we've seen so far between 1 and 6, the Empire seems very reluctant to get involved at the moment. Now, in the wider Star Wars world, we're told the Empire is evil and bad, but we don't really see it in this. What we see in this show is the Empire only cracking down when the rebels go too far, when the rebels make it so the Empire has to react. And again, you could have real world parallels with that, with say World War II Europe, where British agents in SOE are sent abroad to set Europe ablaze. In between them setting off attacks, the French and German soldiers had learned in a way to try and live with each other. And then on comes, British Special Forces or whatever, and puts a kibosh on it. So there's real world parallels there, and I really like when they're doing the real world parallels, as long as it's parallels from history, because it's the past, it's been and gone. Unfortunately, we've had some of the actors, spout off some proper rubbish about Trump derangement, with a Trump derangement syndrome, and how this is all about Trump. And if that's the case, one, why have he used a majority of English actors, British actors, because there is a lot of British actors in this, not unsurprisingly, since that it was filmed, in southern England, and some what looks like Blackpool in later episodes. But why? What these producers and actors need to remember is most of this stuff is being watched outside of America. We don't care about Trump derangement syndrome, or we fundamentally can't understand what you mean, but when you're doing your political messaging, because some of it has no bearing on the rest of the world. So, like I said, I like the parallels. Just keep it into the past of Earth history and human history, anyway. And so they're two, the workings of the ISB and the workings of the Senate, for me, are quite interesting. Some people just want, pew-pews. And don't get me wrong, I want the action as well. At least intermixed in the 3 episodes. So they're really good. The show looks amazing. Right? It looks amazing. And the reason for that is because it's real. Yeah? When you see a building, it's a building. When you see a hill, it's a hill. Far too many of the Marvel and DC shows, and to a point, a lot of Rings of Power was shot in a computer fucking. Oh, I swore. Oh, we're doing. Look at that. 10 minutes without swearing. Anyway, we got a lot of it has been filmed in the volume or green screen or whatever, and it looks bland and boring. But Andor looks amazing. It looks fantastic. You know, so for that, well played there. It makes a world of difference shooting in real life than in the volume. Like I said, what hasn't worked for me is the slow pacing. No, that's not true. It's not slow. It's not boring by any means. Things happen quite fast. Every scene is moves the story forward. It's just perhaps going on a bit too long. When we do finally get the action, it is good. When it came to robbing the Imperial facility, it was set during some kind of asteroid storm to help them in their aid to escape. And these three episodes for me, 4, 5, and 6, I might be taking it too far. Just seemed a whole Highland clearances episode. That's all that seemed to me. So again, they've dug from history there. So I can't help but feel that was a dig at Britain, though. To be fair, being British myself, English. So when we do get the action, it is very good. I will be honest. I spent a lot, all 3 episodes, trying to picture where one of the girls was from. Because I'm looking at her and it's like, who's that? And I tried researching her name. I can't remember the name now either. But it turns out she was in Game of Thrones, one of the girls that Arya kills. Where, when she's training Arya while she's blind and, generally just trying to beat the shit out of her. It's her. Sadly, she took away a lot of it. Like, who is that? I kept telling my wife, I know who that is. I've seen her in somewhere. So, they infiltrate the base. They take some casualties. You get some stunning, action scenes. I'm not going to lie. They rob the facility. One of the officers ends up having a heart attack halfway through, and that helps, make things go a bit Pete Tong like. So they escape off the world, and they go to seek out medical attention because one of the crew has been injured, and while the Andor shoots one of the crewmates because he offers to just, do a bunk. Leave them, let's split the money between us, nod, nod, wink, wink. So Andor kills him for being a traitor, I suppose. And then he just goes, give us my cut, because he's a mercenary on this one. That line about, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old, not seen that yet. So far, he's unaware he's made contact with the rebellion. So far, so I don't know. Well, they've kind of retconned that line a little bit, and that seemed quite an important line as well. So he takes his cut and does a bunk, and that's it. That's the end of the episode. Now, like I said, they're very good. There's lots of positives in this. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of positives. I just think it needs to be a little shorter in the episode times. Get rid of the Mon Mothma marriage rubbish, because I don't care. I don't care. And get her into more of the political intrigue, because that's what I want. The new House of the Dragon had some great political intrigue and great scenes. And I'm not saying I want Game of Thrones in space, because I don't, but I do want the political wrangling to happen as well. So hopefully, you've enjoyed my review. My talk on it. It's not really a review, this, per se. But so far, I would recommend watching it. But I would recommend you watch it as the 3 episode arcs rather than individually. Because, some bright spark on the internet will be able to turn these into movies, no doubt, because that's what the internet does, and it would work a lot better. It would work a lot better for Disney and Star Wars if they did it that way, I think. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Comment below, am I right, am I wrong? What would you like to see going forward in Season 2? Other than K2SO, because at some point he will be in it. They've already showed the make and model, and I'm sure the seals clapped. I'm sure they clapped, but that's in a future episode. Anyway, that's all for now. Bye-bye.